G'day, this is Captain Noob, and this is the Mk14 EBR. Now, this is an old weapon mod that I've finally decided to look at, and because it's got the animations by War Daddy, I'm pretty sure it'll be heaps of fun to use. So this is a standalone weapon with custom meshes, textures, and animations, as I've obviously said. So let's get into these attachments here. And first of all, for the receiver, we can put an advanced receiver here, but if you want to make it an automatic platform, you can definitely do that. These attachments look pretty much like what you'd find in the assault rifle. Now, for the barrels, we can either have a short or a long barrel. We'll get better recoil, range, and accuracy out of that, which is kind of good. And for the stock, we'll put on the Mod 1 CTR plus cheek rest, and that actually improves our hip fire aim apparently, so that's nice, and improves our aim ADS aim too, which is good. And what we'll do for a sight here, we've got a bunch of air techs and a bunch of scopes, and if you want to see these in action, I suggest you try the mod out. I typically don't show absolutely everything there has to be on these mods because I want to encourage you to check them out yourselves. Anyway, we'll leave that magnifier up there. It's going to look actually kind of cool. And for the muzzle attachment, we'll definitely go for a suppressor there. And strangely, this thing actually has a recoil reducing slider too, as well as a damage slider as it is down there. But anyway, we'll keep going on with this. What I want the EOTech sight look like is just the one MOA dot with a ring around it. But you can change this and experiment with this among yourself, and some of these are actually pretty cool. The Vault Boy and Vault Tech ones are obviously novelty ones, but they're kind of cool in a Fallout game. Anyway, so you can deploy the magnifier or undeploy it. I think it's deployed by default, but I'll just leave it on deployed, so it definitely is. And you can attach a flashlight onto this, so we might as well do that, why not? And of course, a damage slider. This is one of the first mods I've actually seen with a damage slider, so maybe there are trends that are in that way, but if this thing isn't quite doing it for you, you can go ahead and chuck on one of these things just to boost the damage a little bit until you're satisfied with it. And of course, legendary effects are always here. Let's get into Gunner's Plaza and see what this thing can do, eh? Alrighty, here we are in Gunner's Plaza once again. Let's get stuck into these dudes, and look at that zoom in there. That's pretty neat. I think that is a perfect sort of zoom for this type of weapon, seeing it's a DMR type weapon, I suppose. And that is an interesting little table you've got on the stock there. I cannot, I can read it, but I've got no idea what it's referring to. Anyway, we're getting about 400 damage on that legendary gunner, which was good on a sneak attack critical. We'll pull back here because those turrets are annoying with all the screen shake they give me, and we'll go ahead and take out these gunners quite like that. Now, the good thing about this weapon is that you'll see this later, is that you can actually fire this thing very fast in the semi-auto mode. I think it's faster than you can get an assault rifle to fire, and they don't fire very slowly at all, so we'll get rid of that turret. Okay, now we're in danger, that's fine. We'll go ahead and get that. Now, when you want to go really close quarters, you can sort of get rid of that side housing if you go in third person, so that you've got a little bit better view of what you're actually shooting at. Trouble is, though, that your damage is going to suffer greatly. But with the rate of fire on this, you should have no problem taking out gunners, even from this range. Now, there's quite a little bit of a muzzle kick there, and you can reel it in pretty well. It's mostly visual. As long as you can just keep the reticule on the target, you'll have an easy time on the target. The mag size here is obviously pretty low at 20, but yeah, usually weapons are a little bit more strong, a little bit more plentiful in the mag capacity in the vanilla game, but 20 is fine. But it will mean if we are fighting a super tanky enemy, we might have to reload before we even get them dead, which would be pretty awkward. Also, I missed the dude, so that's great. Let's see if we can pick him up in VATS. He's got a baton. You really want to fight with a baton? No, you don't. Alright, so he dies, probably trying to pick up one of his mate's weapons, and we'll go ahead and take out some of these commanders. That one was injured in the leg for some reason. But anyway, with all these sneak attack criticals, we're having a pretty easy time here. We are in danger now, so we'll just stick to cover and wait for him to slowly pop in. And we might get a little bit of that shooting just to see how this thing can do with that. Now, if we can shoot this thing in third person, does that make controlling the recoil easier? Because you don't have that massive sort of muzzle kick when you go ahead and shoot. Yep, looks like that way. and you sort of get used to the aiming of it, and yeah, pretty easy thing to use, and the recoil on it is not so boring to actually make the thing boring to use, like a couple of other weapons like the thing. So you know what, I enjoy this weapon pretty good, and the animations by War Daddy, these are some of his earlier work, so it's not as flushed out as some of his latest ones, but as you can tell there, the animations there are very solid, and I'm glad I'm not seeing a bloody combat rifle animation every time I pop the reload button, which is good. You can see I crank that bolt back every time, which is nice. Now we are doing okay damage. The damage on this obviously isn't too good. This is one of the first weapon mods that sort of popped up, so obviously it's going to be sort of close to what the vanilla game weapons can do, so that's fine. But yeah, that was pretty much it for Gunners Plaza. There's not too much to go now. We'll just hopefully kill the rest of these gunners with a little bit of sneak attack critical. I think we got a headshot on that, doing 800 damage, almost 900, which is good. And now we've been detected. You know what? I think it's as good as time as any to go into VATS. Let's see what we can do. As you can tell there, we get so many shots per active point, which is good. We'll just shoot her in the bum there if we can get a shot on that. And now she's dead. And we'll go ahead and quickly finish off that gunner who is pointing your weapon in the air yet still shooting me. What weapon is that? That is a militia rifle. It's actually a kind of neat mod that I still haven't looked at yet. I've had that installed on my PC for quite a while now, so yeah, it's a good mod, but I haven't got around to it yet. But there you have it. That was the EBR in Gunners Plaza. So performance-wise, she's not doing as good as I'd like it to go, but it's no disappointment there. It's still doing alright. We'll move on to Swan now, and yeah, we'll do that. Righto, let's get stuck into him after a bloody quick reload. There we go. Now we can actually get stuck into him for real there. So with these sneak attack criticals, we're getting consistently over 550 hit points worth of damage, and if we aim at the head there, we can sometimes get double that. So we'll try to hit him in the head as much as possible for that bonus damage. And as you can tell here, with all these sneak attack criticals going for us, Swan really doesn't stand a chance. So almost got him killed, and there we go. So again, that is probably how I'd like to play all monsters with this, and there's the flashlight for you, so that's kind of neat. But if you put the weapon away, it kind of points to the side, and it's kind of weird, but it goes directly where you're facing if you're in third person, which is fun. Anyway, that is basically how I'd like to play all of the monsters with this weapon. So instead of fighting more monsters while Swan's still doing those weird animations, we'll go ahead and take on Quincy, and we should probably make it a sniper weapon to make sure we're prepped for long-range engagements then. Righto, so here we are at Quincy. We've got this thing fitted with an 8x scope, which is horribly... its tunnel vision is terrible, but it's good. And we've also given it plus 40% damage, 40% damage I should say, so we're going to have this thing be a little bit more of a sniper weapon, and we're being sort of penalized less for having this thing in very hard mode, which is nice. Alright, so he goes down with a couple of shots, which is good, all sneak attack criticals, and we can go ahead and take out this next bloke here. Now this dude usually has a cloak on him, so it's important for us to make that first shot count, and instead of going through the guts of it, I'm just going to go up through the chapel here, and yeah. You know what I got today? I got one of those Fallout loot crates from fucking that loot box thing, and came with a couple of good things actually. So one of the things was a hoodie, like a Tunnel Snakes hoodie from Fallout 3, which was kind of neat. It also come with a mouse pad, which I'm using right now, and I really needed a mouse pad, so I'm glad to have a little Fallout one. I also got a mug with the same chick that was on the poster for Vault-Tec Workshop, so that's a nice little mug to have. Gotta love them Fallout 4 Vault suits, I'll tell you that much. And also got a little pin there, and it's the Lone Wanderer pin, which is kind of nice. It's all gold, which is good. Don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it's going to be it's an interesting little thing. I also got a little fox figure. Not a pop vinyl, but a little bit bigger than them. And I've got the starting of that buildable figure that they'd get for the entire subscription. So that's how they lock you into buying the bloody things. They give you a thing that you... Oh, wow, are you running away? Okay, you're getting a crit after that. You deserve this. Okay, we didn't quite get him, but he's... Come back here. Ooh, you toughen that bloody power armor, mate. Okay, luckily we aren't being detected by him. I think the night is actually over now because the ambient sound just changed. There we go, finally got him. Okay. Alright, so... Okay, so that was a quote of someone who knows where someone is, so... they're probably aggroed by some sort of trader, but if you could just stand still, that would be good. Now, I did see that Assaultron Dominator, which would be a likely target. So I think the loot crates send every 2 months-ish. The reason I got it so late, because I had the thing sort of cancelled, because I only wanted the one loot box, but apparently... Where are you going, mate? Oh, you're just going to hide then. Okay, now I'm detected, which means I should show up. There we go. We'll go ahead and see what we can do with this. And yeah, we're doing much better damage now. We've got that small boost on, so much happier with the damage of this thing now. It now feels like a proper powerful weapon. And I'm guessing that most modders don't actually make... Okay, I'm seeing a lot of frag mines. Okay, there's one. If I teabag here, I can actually see and not get cut off by tunnel vision, which is kind of nice. Might as well actually do that. Actually, no, I'll lose my reticule, but that's an interesting little thing. And at the time this was created, that little effect there that you go into sneak wasn't implemented, so that was interesting. Also, your animations are wrong. Something's wrong with the third-person animations. Maybe it's because their legs are crushed, because they used to do this on my PS4 account. They'd sort of point their weapons up in the air, then they'd put them away, then they'd hobble around like their legs were crippled. Also, don't throw that grenade at me, you're going to get hip fired down. So using this as a sniper would probably be a lot more fun if you didn't get yourself detected, but we'll go ahead and finish off the rest of these gunners just like this. And as for VATS usage, even though we've got an 8x scope on the thing, for whatever reason, the VATS points usage per shot isn't greatly increased like the vanilla weapon, so there you go. And if we want to get only a small zoom in, whoops, we fell down there, we can go ahead and switch to third person, and that way we can take out things that are at close range. So that's one of the good things about the see-through scopes in general. Generally, if you're in third person, that thing doesn't really apply, so you can go ahead and use weapons both scoped and non-scoped pretty well, actually. And with this dead turret, that is about it for Quincy there, and that's about it for the Mk something EBR. I remember this one back in Battlefield 3, actually. I think it was in 4 too, but it's the same looking sort of weapon, might be a little bit different, but there you have it. That was this thing. The animations are solid, so if you feel like downloading this mod, which links will be in the description by the way, make sure you download the animations add-on with it, because War Daddy does some brilliant work actually. So very, very worth... oh, we had a Deadeye Sniper plasma thingy. Good on him. Yeah, make sure you grab the reload animations if you want to grab this weapon to just inject a little bit more fun into it. Otherwise, you'll be seeing combat rifle animations to it, and that's not fun. This one is available for PC and Xbox One. I actually checked that, and I don't expect it to be... could you stop fighting over there? I'm doing my outro. Oh, I think that was... No, that was just some of the Rust Devils. Well, I'm going to let them do that. Hang on. You're a gunner. Oh, you're not escaping this slaughter, mate. Get critted from there, and I'll jump right away because I was spamming the crit button, which is the spacebar. Okay, I don't feel like taking on those warlords. That's about it for this weapon. I'll call it off here before those super mutants find me. Thank you for watching, guys.